a gal pal of mine. I know her from the gym. She's a great gal. She's healthy and she's attractive, and she's squared away. And there is a guy in the gym. I'm not even really sure I know which one it is, to be honest. But she's really got this infatuation with this guy in the gym. And now she has a stoic personality. She doesn't have the, extrovert, cheerleader personality. Flirting is what I'm trying to say is flirting is probably not something that comes super natural to her from an initiation standpoint, but she just cannot seem to get this guy's attention. And I said, well, why don't you just initiate? And she's like, I attract, I don't chase. Mm-hmm. Which, and you know what? I respect that. I have a whole chapter in my book just for men. Yeah. And I talk about the number one responsibility of a man. And I don't care if it's personal, professional, parental, husband, wife, boyfriend, whatever. Like, number one responsibility to a carnal DNA level is men are responsible for initiating, period. Mm-hmm. And I make this whole argument, right? So we can agree or disagree. Mm-hmm. So, but when I told her, I said, look, here's all you got to do. You just walk up to him. I told her, I said, this is the best pickup line of all time. You just walk up to him and you put out your hand and you say, hey, my name is Beth. What's your name? And you just hold your hand right there. Uh-huh. And Cora, like, her chest got all red. Like, her skin, like up her neck, that like she was having an anxiety moment just at the very mention that I would say that to her. All right. So there's a little anecdote. Here's the question.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think of that? Do you, like, in that instance where, like, for example, in a gym, the guy walks around with his hoodie on and he's just getting down to business. He's got to be at work at a certain time. Is it okay for a gal who's like really interested just to walk up and say, whatever? What do you think of that?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I think so too.
Absolutely. And I think what's important too is that there's all sorts of moves that we can all make. And I think that something that a lot of women come to believe that I would love to shift is the idea that they don't have it, or like their job is just to kind of be passive or to wait for the dude, which is actually very disempowering, because it's like,
I agree.
So what I want to invite more women into, and I think this, there's different ways to look at it, because there's different, personal preferences, and like, I think it's great to, whatever is fine. A lot of people, I myself, have that preference of like, it's really attractive when a guy is in a directive energy and is initiating. And what I would want to invite women to understand and shift into is that you can make moves that are not, they're moves, but they're more in the energy of an invitation. So yes. You can make it that's still a move. That's still you being in your agency, right? And kind of like creating what you want, but you're basically clearing the space for him to step up. And what I would want to more women to realize too is that, like, guys, like, they want to know that their move is going to be well received, and they're looking for evidence and indicators, right? So if you're just like stonewalling them, like, they're probably not going to hit on you, because like they don't want to embarrass themselves, right? Like, yeah. It's a risk for them too. So have you ever heard about how, like, this is a good example of this in the 1700s. I'm kind of pulling this out of my ass. I don't know if that's exactly when, but
go for it.
So basically, women used to they'd walk by a guy they were interested in, and they would drop their handkerchief intentionally, that like
The old bend and snap.
The old bend and snap, exactly. So that's kind of an example, and there's all kinds of ways to do this. But if you're a woman who is, wanting to attract a guy who's in his kind of initiating directive energy, there are ways that you get to participate in that dynamic where you're like clearing the path and you're actually creating opportunity and invitation for him to step up and do that. So you're also participating, and guys need that encouragement because like they're human beings. They're human beings, and y'all are human beings. We're all human beings, and men want to know that if they're going to make a move, they're looking for evidence, at least some evidence, and there is always risk involved. And that's part of embracing the awkwardness and just embracing the real life element of it. But they want to have some evidence that their move may be well received.